everyone. In today's lecture, we are going to discover another important topic, and this topic is about lipids. So, first of all, we are going to give the short introduction about the lipid. That what are those? We define some neutral things about it, such as we discuss what is the nature of your lipid, what is the properties, what are the examples in what is the occurrence of the lipid, what is its composition, and at the last end we are going to classify it into different classes, okay, on the base of different things. So let's before we are going to start our lecture, I request to you, if you have not subscribed to my channel, then go first, click the subscribe button and also press the bell icon to get the notification of all the videos which I have uploaded. So thank you very much for following me, for subscribing me, for liking me, and become the part of my YouTube family. And I am really thankful for all of you guys which are in my subscription. And if you have not subscribed to me, then rapidly go and subscribe to my channel so that you will get the useful content. So now we are going to start our lecture. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So first of all, we are going to define that what is a lipid. So first thing is that it is a heterogeneous class of compound. The word heterogeneous mean that it has different substances in it, okay. In the previous lecture we have discussed about the carbohydrate, we have discussed about the proteins, and we see the carbohydrates and proteins, they are homogeneous in reaction, because all the carbohydrates are made from their simple unit, which is called as what? Glucose. Yes, you are right. And the proteins are made up of their simplest unit, and the simplest unit of protein is yes, very good, you are right. The proteins are made up of amino acids. But in case of lipids, you cannot classify only one substance. You cannot say that lipids are made up from such only one this substance. No, lipids are made up of various substances. It also composed of fatty acids. It is also composed of alcohols. It also composed of other group other than glycerol and alcohol, and other than of fatty acids. So you cannot define that lipids is composed of only one or two elements. It composed of a lot of elements. So they are naturally occurring and the organic compound classified together on the base of common solubility properties. And this is the properties of lipids. But first we are going to define it, that they are the organic substances which are heterogeneous group of compounds. And now we discuss its properties. So properties of lipids are they are insoluble in water. Actually they have a heterogeneous nature. So they have fatty or waxy like nature, so therefore they are hydrophobic. What is mean by hydrophobic? That they are water hating, they don't love water, they are going to repel from the water. So therefore it is insoluble in water, but they are soluble in various organic solvents. Various organic solvents are diethyl ether, chloroform, methylene chloride, and acetones. All of these solvents are our organic solvents. So our lipid is soluble in them but insoluble in your water. So they are the heterogeneous compounds and related to fatty acid, because fatty acid is going to make them, okay. Now we discuss the nature of lipid. That the nature of lipid is very waxy and fatty like. And second nature of lipid is that they are hydrophobic, mean water hitting. Then we are going to discuss some examples of lipid, that what are these lipids and how what are the examples of them. So the examples of lipid are cholesterol. Your cholesterol is the one of the most important example of your lipids. It is made up of lipids, okay. And this cholesterol is a lipid which is also present in your body, in your blood. So a lot of benefits and a lot of disadvantages of cholesterol in our body. For example, if I say the benefit of cholesterol is that it maintaining the fluidity of your cell, okay. So it is maintaining the cells. It not allow the cells to go and flow like liquid and water. It is going to maintain the shape of your cell. Second thing is the disadvantages of cholesterol. You know very well it is going to cause a lot of effects on your heart. It is damaging your heart and breaking it, okay, in like this. Sorry for that, it is a joke. So now second thing is also it is causing a lot of diseases because it can also attach to your blood vessel. For example, this is your blood vessel, so it is going to form, it is going to narrowing it, okay, it is going to narrowing it, increase your blood pressure and causing a lot of diseases, arthrosis and such like diseases. So it has some benefit and also has some disadvantages of it. Second, the example of lipids is the high density lipoproteins and the low density lipoproteins. And the main concept you have to revise that high density lipoproteins are beneficial for our health, but the low density lipoprotein are harmful for our health. So it doesn't mean that lipid is always unbeneficial or have disadvantages. It never mean lipids, some lipids has a benefit for us. For example, high density lipoproteins, and all of these high density lipoproteins are present in the fruits, in dietary fibers and in the dry fruits. So all of them has lipoprotein, but whenever you are going move and you are going to eat the fast foods, it has contained the low density lipid, which is very harmful for your heart and your body, okay. So now moving on to the source where your lipids is going to you get, and where is the occurrence of your lipid. So animal, plants and marine animals could also be the source of your lipid. For example, if we discuss the animals, so animals, from the animals we get the milk and milky product like butter and cheese. All of these are lipidy in nature. For example, meat, egg, so it is the source. So you are going to get the lipid from your meat, you get the lipid content from the egg. Milk and milky products also contain lipid in them. So lipid is present everywhere in your body, in your blood and every cell of your body, and it is essential for the every cell, okay, for maintaining the fluidity of your cell. And maintaining the fluidity means that for example, in the summer season it don't allow the cell to melt, okay, or in the winter season it don't allow your cytoplasm to get freeze or to get freeze, okay. So it is allowing to maintain the fluidity, maintain to keep your cells alive. Second, the source of lipid is the your plants, vegetables oil, for example soya bean, castor oil, sunflower oil, palm kernel oil, olive oil, almond oil, peanut oil. All the types of oils which are you are obtaining from the vegetables or from some fruit, you are considering it and the lipids. So all the oils are lipids. Second is the marine water, and in marine water the cod fish is the source of your lipid, okay. And now we move on to the next page. Now we discuss what are the functions of the lipids. And before we are going to discuss the function of lipid, let's discuss what is the composition of your lipid. So actually your lipid is composed of three elements. What? Three elements are going to compose your lipid, okay. Sorry for the spellings, but you have to organize it. So first element and which is present in your lipid is the oxygen. So oxygen is going to the part of your lipid. Second thing is your carbon. Sorry for the wrong writing again. And third is the hydrogen. We have discussed the composition of your proteins. In the proteins we have discussed it has nitrogen in it, okay. So this the composition of every compound going to be different, okay. So the composition of lipid is this, I have explained it to it. Now we discuss what is the structure of your lipid, okay. So the your structure of lipid contain three things. First is the backbone, and the backbone is made up of glycerol, okay, your glycerol. And what is glycerol? Now we discuss it in the further lectures, okay. So don't be panicked. Second thing is, first is the this is the backbone, now is the tail, and tail is made up of fatty acid, okay. fatty acid, and this fatty acid is hydrophobic in nature. Third thing which is going to compose your liquid lipid is phosphate group. So phosphate group is also going to compose your what lipid. So these are the three things which are making the structure of your lipid. First is the backbone, which is the glycerol. Second is the tail, which is fatty acid. Third is the phosphate group, which is going to compose your lipid. Okay, now we are going to discuss the functions of your lipid. So the first and the main function of your lipid is that it becomes the source of energy for you. And what the energy and how amount of energy it is going to provide you, and it is going to provide 9.1 kilocalories per gram as you utilize your food into your body. So your food is also become the part of your body, and it are also used to give you energy. And it is highly stative high value, a specific value, and it dietary lipids decrease the gastric mobility and secretion. So they are going to decrease the digestion. So, and they also stored energy in our body, okay na, in the form of triglyceride, and also transport the lipids in our body. Second thing is that carrier of fat soluble compounds. So you know very well that some fat soluble vitamins are also present. We have discussed the vitamins, and we discussed that what are the fat soluble vitamin. It is ADEK, vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, and vitamin K. So they are also fat soluble. What is mean by fat soluble? That they are only going to soluble or making the solubility in the fats, not in the water. So in the food they act as a carrier of your fatty acid. They help in the absorption of your fatty acids into your body, because the absorption of vitamins is very important. If the vitamins are not absorbed, then they just secreted out with the urine. So we have to absorb them, and the lipid is going to help us in their absorption. And it is also have coenzyme and various regulatory functions for your body. Second is the energy reservoir. It is going to make a various storage compound, and due to this storage compound it is going to store your energy. And the major storage compound is glyceraldehydes. Okay, so they are going to reserve energy in your body. For example, whenever we need energy, this glyceride break up and give us energy. So it is going to store in your adipose tissue, and you know very well adipose tissue are our what, fat tissues. Okay, so these fat tissues are become the source of energy. Now the next thing is that they are making the structural component of your cells. They are making your cell membranes. They are giving the fluidity. They are giving the flexibility to your cell membrane so that it could be elastic. And they are going to give you hydrophobic barriers so that everything could not be soluble in the water. It is allowing a barrier so that everything don't go move in or out. So it is going to become a barrier of your cell membrane. So that is very important, because you know a cell cannot survive without its cell membrane. This cell membrane out of the cell is really important, because it is regulating what the substance is coming in and what the substance is going out. So this is very important for this nature. Second thing is that it also provides us anatomical stability to organs. Okay, they are going to give you stability like the organs like kidney. So losing weight rapidly cause floating of the lipids. So it is going to what, it is going to ensure your kidney at a fixed place. Okay, it doesn't allow your kidney to move up and down and left and right. It gives your body and your organs to become stable or to become fixed at the one place. Okay, Now it also going to provide insulation, that is very important, because they are the poor conductors, so they don't allow the conduction of electricity into them. So they are electric insulator to the nerve fibers, where methylene sheet also contain lipids, and we know that in the methylene sheet our nerve cannot travel. Okay, so this way our nerve is going to move and move in the jumping position, and this is called as saltatory conduction. And the cytotoxic conduction make the fast speed nerve impulse transfer. Second, the layer of fats in the subcutaneous layer provide the insulation and protection from the cold in our skin layer, and it also going to regulate your body temperature so that we don't get cold very rapidly. So it is going to protect us also. Next thing is that precursor of other physiological compound, that our lipid also act as a precursor of some compound. For example, cholesterol. I know I have explained to you that cholesterol is also a lipid, but it is the precursor, and it is the precursor of what? Bile acids, vitamin D, and steroids. So all of these things are made from cholesterol. Essential fatty acid, for example, linoleic acid, are the precursor of many different types of echinoids, prostaglandin, and thromboxane. It also play role in the pain, in fever, in case of inflammation, or in case of blood clotting. Therefore they are really important for us. Second and eighth function of lipid is that they are going to make up your plasma membrane by the phosphatidyl inositol. So it is a lipid, and phospholipase C is a hormone sensitive enzyme that act on the phosphoinositol. This is this compound, and it releases two derivatives of it, diacylglycerol inositol triphosphate. And you know very well, inositol triphosphate act as a second messenger of your system, and it activates intracellular enzyme to produce any response. So both of these compounds are what? Secondary messengers. And what are the secondary messenger? I have uploaded a video up on it, and if you don't want to get this concept, then you can visit my channel and see this video. Okay, now we have discussed that it is going to protect, it acts as a thermal insulator, it is going to the precursor, it is going for also going to the transportation of various compound. It also acts as surfactant by reducing the surface area, so it also play a role as a surfactant. It also improve the taste of your taste bud and electricity conductor. It also, so these are some functions of the lipid. Now we discuss what is the biological importance of your lipid. And because they are going to act as a lubricant in your alimentary canal and in the site of metabolism. They are the primary transport system for the non-polar compound. You know that the polar compounds are transferred by the water, but non-polar compounds are transferred by what? Your lipid. Second is the important constituent for your cell membrane, for your cell organelles. And a good food due to high caloric values give you what? Energy of 9.1 kilo calories. Important function in the nerve system regulation, and also contained in the diet. And fat soluble vitamins or hormones play important biological role, and they are going to play role in your lipids. Now we discuss the classification of your lipid, and now we are going to classify lipids in various classification. First we are going to classify it in the three ways. So first way of classification is but the biological classification, then the chemical classification, and the last is a classification on the base of saponification reaction. So as the name indicate, first classification is the biological classification. And in the biological classification we are going to classify lipid as the stored lipid, which is going to store in your what? Adipose tissue, means fat tissue. Second is the membrane tissue, which are going to compose up your membranes. Okay, so the example of them are given below. For example, storage lipids is composed of what? Triglyceride, phospholipids, and sphingolipid, glycosphenoids, and sulfonable. They are also going to make your membrane of lipid. You are going to make cell membrane of your cell. and stored lipid is going to compose the fatty cell. For example, this is the fat cell. Okay, this is the fat tissue, and in this tissue triglycerides are present. So next is the classification on the base of what? Chemical composition, means chemical classification. So on the base of chemical classification, they are classified into three types: simple lipids, compound lipids, and derived lipids. Okay, simple lipids are them because they are just ester of fatty acids. Okay, for example, triglyceride and triglyceride glycerols are divided into two further main classes: oils and fats, and it also composed of waxes. Second is the compound lipids. Compound lipids mean that they are going to compound with another, when it means some non-lipid compound is also going to combine up with the lipid and make another compound. For example, phospholipid, this is the lipid but it composes of phosphate group in it. Okay, means a phosphate group is going to add up into your lipid. Second is the sphenoid phospholipid. So it here sphenoid alcohol and for phosphate group is going to add up in your lipid. Second is the glycerophospholipid. So glycero means carbohydrate, so carbonic group is also added. Glycolipid means carbohydrates plus lipid. Lipoproteins mean lipid plus protein. So in that way we are also going to add up non-lipid compounds, also add up and make the compound. Okay, last is the derived lipids. So derived lipids mean that they are derived from your lipid. Okay, so they are going to modification of your lipids. So modification of your lipids are steroids, terpenoids, carotenoids. So they are also lipid but some modifications. Okay, so last is the classification on the base of saponification. So on the basis of saponification reaction, we have classified lipids into the two types: saponificable and non-saponificable. So the saponificable lipids are those which have long chain of fatty acid esterified with the alcohol, and they are simple. For example, simple में भी और compound में भी sponifiable हो सकते हैं. Simple में ये होंगे examples में, और compound में ये examples होंगी. Last में आता है non sponifical. They cannot be sponified or hydrolyzed since they don't have ester linkage. So ester linkage ना होने की वजह से ये sponify नहीं होंगे. And the examples of non sponificable lipids are given below. For example, cholesterol, fat soluble vitamins, all the A, D, E, K, and the bile salts. So they are going to classify in the non-sponificable lipid and this. So this was our today's lecture. I hope that you will understand this video. Now I explain this equation to you. So in this equation they are going to explain this is the triglyceride or oil structure. Okay, and they are going to add up what sodium hydroxide into it. After adding sodium hydroxide, the glycerol forms, and with the glycerol three soap molecules form. Means this R group is going to what, this bond is going to break. So sorry, so this bond is going to break up, and after this breakup what is going to happen, the H from this side, I am going to H from this side, this H from 3H. Okay, from 3 NaOH, 3H is going to add up with this hydrogen, one with this oxygen, like that, like that, and like that. Okay, so this is going to make up your what, glycerol. First is the glycerol is made up. Now we have to make this. So for making this, what is going to happen, this bonds break up like there. Now what, this sodium, okay, this sodium is going, this NaOH, sorry, NaO, this is going to add up with this carbon. So what the structure is made up like that, I make up this for you, and the R group. So this is going to make up this. Okay, I hope कि आप लोगों को ये चीज़ समझ में आ गई होगा. ठीक है. So this was all about the today's lecture. So sponificable lipids are those which are undergo the sponification, and this is the sponification reaction. So sponifiable lipids undergo this reaction. So all of these lipids, example, they show this reaction. Okay, they undergo this reaction, they perform this reaction. But there are some lipids which cannot perform this reaction, and the example of these lipids are given here. And these are cholesterol, better soluble fats, and the bile salts. So they are not going to perform this reaction. Okay, so therefore they are called non-sponificable lipids. So they don't have ester linkage, so therefore they don't undergo this reaction. So this was the simple classification and the simple introduction of your lipid. I hope that you will enjoy this video. If you have some lectures and some doubts, then you can clarify me. In the next lecture we are going to get the detail of the simple lipid, and in the next video we get the detail of complex lipid, and in the further next video we also discuss the dry lipids. Okay, so you must watch this video. I have uploaded all the headings and all the concept of all the things and all the topics. So if you have some questions, some doubts, then you can ask me in the comment section. I will reply to you. Thanks for watching my videos, thanks for subscribing to my channel, and thanks for liking me. I am really thankful for all of you, and take care of yourself and get well soon. Allah Hafiz.